Alright, Sony, I'm not ignoring this any longer. For a while now, Microsoft has been making a huge push for games to have cross-platform play, right? Let's bring everyone together. They started with the whole Play Anywhere deal with Xbox and PC, allowing you to purchase a game once and play it on whichever platform you prefer, cross-play, cross-save, all that jazz. But the cross-play, specifically for, games like Killer Instinct, really started to pique people's interest, allowing the PC and Xbox players to play together, opens things up to way more options. You have more players coming in, playing the same game, the same servers, and people can play with their friends regardless of platform. Then, enter the Nintendo Switch. Nintendo, who have long been stuck in their old ways on a variety of issues, especially online. Now they're coming on board. We're seeing stuff like Minecraft and Rocket League are going to have crossplay between the Nintendo handheld and the Xbox and the PC. I just read this new game, Crazy Justice. It's going to have crossplay between the Switch, Xbox One, and PC. Awesome, right? But someone's missing from the party. And yeah, when you look into it, everyone reaffirms Sony just doesn't want to participate. They're not interested in the crossplay. For generations, people have wanted to play games with their buddies regardless of system. I mean, what a beautiful world it would be. Everyone can just buy whatever they want, and we all get to play together. But Sony is keeping that dream as just that, a dream. How horrible of them, those awful Sony execs, keeping all of us gamers apart. If you watch me, you know I'm about to flip this upside down. Because unfortunately, there is a second side to this argument. Sony's. Sure, it's easy to just paint them as the bad guys. They're fueling the fanboy wars, keeping us from this gaming utopia where everyone gets along. Yeah, right. But that's their decision. They're right, and it's not really a stupid one, if you ask me. You see, last generation is when the online gaming stuff really started to blow up. Xbox 360 versus PS3 was just as much Xbox Live versus PSN. And to Microsoft's credit, even though they charged for their online service, it was much better, resulting in lots of people going with the 360. And then, what happened? Well, when others were shopping around for a new system, if their friends were playing on Xbox, they wanted to buy an Xbox as well, so they could all play together. This hurt Sony big time. So what did they do? Improved a lot of their networking issues, not so much security, made PlayStation Plus have some actual value, and most importantly, came out with a quality, let's be honest, a superior system than Microsoft's this generation with the PS4. And it paid off. The PS4 has utterly dominated this generation. Strong sales, tons of games, exclusive games. You hear that word? Microsoft exclusives. They help you sell systems. You should try to get some. Granted, I will admit Cuphead is pretty awesome. But now Sony is firmly on top. So of course, they're calling their own shots. Maybe they would have been more open to this last gen when Microsoft was destroying them in terms of online experiences. Now, they're kind of the king of the mountain. And you're going to be upset with them wanting to go their own way? Just like Microsoft last gen, most people are buying PlayStations now. And yes, Sony does want you to also buy a PlayStation to play with your friends. This is just like exclusives. Sure, I would love for every game to be playable on every system. How great. But I don't think any of you Nintendo fanboys would ever want Nintendo releasing their games on other consoles. You want to maximize the consumer's reasoning to buy your console. And when you're firmly the king, it kind of makes sense to keep things this way. Now that should be enough to piss off the Microsoft and Nintendo fans. I guess I'm a Sony fanboy this week. So the question to me isn't, should Sony allow crossplay to please all these gamers? As always, my question is, does this make business sense? With the Xbox, I don't really see it. I think the systems are too close. You want people buying all these games, the Battlefronts, Call of Duties, etc., whatever the kids are playing these days. You want them buying those games on your console, and you want them to tell their friends to play them on your console. But with Nintendo, I could see it. Sony obviously has an interest in the handheld space, and so do a good portion of their gamers. But I don't think they're going to compete with Nintendo anytime soon. Some sort of partnership, again, maybe coming into this whole crossplay thing could be a doorway into some sort of relationship in the future. And this is where the greedy businessman Johnny comes out. Microsoft is clearly the more direct competitor here, right? So by joining in on these cross-play games shows, hey, we're all about this stuff too. Power to the players. Let's get along. But the real game here would be cuddling up to Nintendo. Could you imagine a PlayStation 4 and Switch partnership with things like cross-play and cross-saves? Play games in 4K on your PS4 Pro, then take them on the go with the Switch. It would honestly be devastating to Microsoft and the Xbox. And let's look at this a little bit deeper. I just put that idea in your head. Now take a look at all this buddy-buddy stuff with the Switch and the Xbox One. Phil Spencer almost is constantly praising the big end. Sometimes I wonder, does Phil Spencer work for Nintendo or does he work for Microsoft? He's pushing their games, the new device, just constant praise. Could that possibly be their plan? Simply put, in terms of competition, yeah, I don't see it smart for Sony to, I guess, team up with Microsoft after handing it to them this generation. But for either company, Sony or Microsoft, I think some sort of partnership with Nintendo, allowing third-party games to not only do cross-play, which, as we see, is already happening, but opening that up to things like cross-saves or even cross-buy. I don't know, the cross-buy would certainly be an issue, but, I mean, these consoles in general are going to have to do something. The standard console war isn't going to last forever. Everything's converging more and more together. People want, I've said this since, I've been doing gaming videos, people want the simpler setups. In the future, they don't want all these consoles lined up under their TV. They want like a little Chromecast. That's what I think is like the end game. One of those little things that like plugs into your TV, that's going to have all your games on it. That's in the distant future. People don't want more and more devices. They want less and less devices. And I mean, damn, if you could buy a game once and get it on a main home console and the Switch, again, cross-play, cross-saves, all the bells and whistles, tell me that wouldn't influence your buying decisions. But anyway, I don't want to get into a rant. Let me know your thoughts on the whole cross-play deal in the comments. Should Sony just fall in line? Should they be looking at a potential to doing some sort of partnership with Nintendo perhaps? Or should they just worry more about maintaining their current position, which is in the lead, through walling themselves off from everybody else? Let me know in the comments. As always, I'm John Zakari, and thanks for watching.